everyone. I'm Larry Ridley. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. Opening week in the NFL is an exciting time for everybody, including these two teams here today. It's the Panthers going up against the Buccaneers. The opening kick of the new season is straight ahead as we turn it over to our broadcast duo of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, we are at a site that's played host to 2 Super Bowls, and that's Raymond James Stadium in Tampa. Today, our new season begins with an NFC South matchup between the Carolina Panthers and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now they'll run it on the toss. And this defense feeling the encouragement. They stop him at the line of scrimmage on the first play of the afternoon. Here's the lineup and a big boy in the backfield, Tolbert.
It's real easy to look at him and immediately picture a bowling ball scattering pins. That's exactly what Mike Tolbert does.
Caught right side, Tate. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and they're going to have a third down. The starting 11 defensively for Tampa Bay.
Joe McCoy is one of the top defensive tackles in the league. Always a threat to go to the Pro Bowl, especially because of his pass rushing ability.
Here's Newton, and he finds a man. It's Olsen. And he's brought down after a good gain. And on this first drive, looks like they want to get that vertical passing game going early.
And they did, and what a warning shot they just fired. If you're not going to back up and play coverage deep, we're going to attack you all game long. And once you adjust to that and you start to back off, then that opens things up underneath. A really nice start for them. Great way to get the game going. It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
On 2nd and 10, Newton. Wide open receiver complete. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
The veteran Jeremy Maclin was the intended target, and it's 2nd down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it?
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Quan Alexander. And the return will stop right around the 25. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
Finds Roberts left side. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. Call it a pickup of 7, and that'll make this a 2nd down. Partner, nothing complicated here. This is just a pretty simple drag route.
You're exactly right, Brandon. Instead of throwing it downfield, they just throw it underneath and let the receiver do the work.
Ready? 125.
The first carry now for Doug Martin. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Well, from the safety of our booth, I think it's okay after that run that I call him still the name that maybe he's not too crazy about, the muscle hamster.
Yeah, his teammates at Boise State called him that. He doesn't like that, though.
He hates that name.
He told us he prefers, and he told the world he prefers Dugger now.
It's always tough when you come up with your own nickname.
It doesn't stick.
I hope it works for him, but I have my doubts.
We're going muscle hamster here in the booth. Credit the tackle to Kurt Coleman. Here's the offense, and highlighted as a guy who gave himself his own nickname, the Dugginator.
Brandon, you really can't nickname yourself, but if he keeps running at this level, he'll have plenty of good nicknames to choose from.
On 2nd down, Martin. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. And he's able to get most of what he needed on the carry there. 7 yards on the gain, and it's 3rd and 2 now. 3rd down now following the run. Winston on 3rd and 2. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. On 4th down, the Bucs will call on Anger. Brian Anger to punt it away. Back deep, Golden Tate. Now it's Tate. And not great starting field position here for the offense. Now a 1st down throw for Newton. And he whips that one incomplete there. The intended receiver was Corey Brown. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Timing's crucial in any route thrown, but when you throw an out, so many things are going through the mind of the receiver. Catching the ball, timing it up with the quarterback. Are my feet going to get down inbounds? On that play, all those things going through his head might have caused him to drop it.
It's a gain of 9 yards. And that is going to set up a 3rd and 1. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height, sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. William Golston in on the stop.
Now that's the type of play that'll fire up a defense. Hold them to 1 yard on a 1st down run. It'll be interesting to see if the offense decides to press the run at all, or if they'll abandon it now after gaining only 1 on that play.
To throw on 2nd down is Newton. It's brought in left side by Tate. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. They go play action here on 1st down. Over the middle here to Brown. Touchdown, Carolina. Corey Brown, 58 yards. And the Panthers are going to take a 1st quarter lead. Great corner route there. Not only able to catch it, turn it upfield, and get into the end zone.
It usually involves a little bit of an extra move, doesn't it? You've got to get them thinking that you're moving to the middle of the field and you're breaking away to that corner. Boy, that was well executed.
Gano out to kick this one away. Now it's Adam Humphries on the return. Now a hit and a loose football. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. Here are the Panthers now as their offense comes back out onto the field. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
It's not always as straight as that team wanted it more than the other, but on that play, it actually was true. They were faster to the ball.
Now a play fake, and it's Newton. And this is caught. Jeremy Maclin. And he's brought down. 18 yards there, and it'll be a 1st and goal. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker. When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit and it forced an incompletion.
Looking for Macklin, and it's intercepted. And some room to maneuver. And a great return as he's up close to the 40-yard line. So out come the Bucs now. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on 4, turned it over in their own territory, but the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points.
So how about the guy with the #1 headset on the sidelines, the head coach? That was planned going into it, not necessarily to not get the first down or to have the defense have to hold.
He trusted his defense.
Trusted his defense very much, and I think that's how he's going to play this game. Go for it, be aggressive, because I've got the wild bunch backing me up over here on my own sideline.
Now we'll see what his offense can do.
Ready, blue lady.
Now a play fake to Martin. Here's Winston. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49.
And when you have a guy in the backfield who can catch the football, you don't just use him strictly for checkdowns or dump-offs. You make him part of the primary passing attack, because what you're trying to do is get him into open field and then let him make people miss and advance the football.
Now a play fake here on first down. Mike Evans, the one he was looking for. And now it's second down.
The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
He was trying to get it to Doug Martin, and it's third down. So a second down incompletion now brings up third down. On third down, Winston. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable. Usually an excellent target and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
And did he put that on a dime? He did. Wow. Out of bounds at the 1-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. And 2 interceptions already here in this first half. That's got to affect him a little bit, right? He's got to be thinking about it.
He's got to be thinking about it, but most of the good ones, they find a way to put it aside. They're not happy about it by any stretch of the imagination. They find a way to put it aside and continue to play their game.
Can he put it aside? Let's find out.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You get better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And he'll be out of bounds up past the 45. That one goes for 24 yards. So an instance there of Cam being Cam. We know he can use his legs.
And with that big body, it's hard to get him down even if you get a clear shot on him. Plus, he moves it a lot faster than what people think. And boy, does he have fun playing the game of football.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Call it a gain of 3, but not enough to move the sticks. It'll be 3rd and about a foot or 2.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
Yeah, the defense definitely showing blitz here. And to give this time to the tailback. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
I always appreciate runners who understand situations. That was just 3rd and inches. No reason to dance around in the backfield and try and break off a bigger play. Just go pick up the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
They'll come up now in the Wildcat package.
Here we go.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. A gain of 4 on the play, and it'll be a second down. Two minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to Tampa after this timeout. And here comes play number 6 on this drive. Here's Newton now on second down. And he rifles one incomplete.
And there was a good opportunity to just run a ride there, a drop pass. I guess that's why they call them running backs and not catching backs.
7th play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6. Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. And the tight end Olsen, right side. And now the Bucs deciding to take a timeout defensively. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And the lead moves to 10-zip. Well, they started this drive in as tough a spot as you can at their own 1, so they're able to march it into field goal range and get 3.
I thought that was a very poised, dare say classy sort of a drive. Backed up in the shadow of your own end zone, yet you come out of it and put points on the board. Well executed.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And they'll be looking to avoid what happened last time, which is punting the football.
But when you look at how teams play the game, that complementary football comes into play. How do I take care of my defense? How do I take care of my offense? Well, the defense is taking care of them in a lot of ways. Now it's time for the offense to jump things up and help their defense out. Give them a little bit of rest.
Yeah, time for them to give them a rest. Took the words right out of my mouth.
Watch the slant. Watch the slant. Ready.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Across the 30 to the 31-yard line. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave them with a 3rd down and 6 to go.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
1 receiver left, 3 to the right. 3rd down, it's Doug Martin. It'll be a gain of 5, and the punt team will now come out on 4th down. And now we get a timeout called on the defensive side of the ball by the Panthers. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. On the return, it's Tate. Fighting through. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the Panthers will have a 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. Carolina getting set to take the field. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead. But a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Here's Newton. Out to the right here to Wilson. A good pickup there of 20 yards. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Robert Ayers in there to sack him for a loss of 6. To throw on second down is Newton. Eluding the pressure right. Muscles him off. It'll be a gain of 8 yards. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. And the Bucs with an extra defender in the secondary now on third down. Brown, the lone receiver, left. From the 50, Newton. On the move to his left. Now he's going to let it go deep left side. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock.
Well, they went for the big play there, but that drop could really hurt their momentum.
So on fourth down, here's the veteran left-footed punter Donnie Jones to kick it away. He'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And you got to think, if this is anything other than just taking a knee, I'd be very surprised.
Yeah, they've got enough to talk about at the half. Why do anything else? Just get out of there.
Here's Martin. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end. And pump the brakes, Larry. Pump the brakes. We are ready for quarter number 3. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Out come the Buccaneers. They'll have it first to start the third quarter. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. Following the penalty, Martin. And not much of an opening there as he's only going to get this to about the 32. Call it a gain of a couple there as it'll leave him with a second and just 3.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
They run it again with Martin. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down.
Luke Kuechly combines speed, intelligence, toughness, puts it all together. It makes plays like one we just saw there. He may not be a big-time blitzer, but boy, he knows how to pursue straight ahead and make plays in the run game.
15 yards through the air and a first down.
That's a pretty good throw on the curl route there. Third down, and they pick up a first.
Defense should be aware for that, right?
They should be aware, but it was so hard sometimes.
Okay, it's not easy.
Because when they sell that route really well, you think they're going upfield, and they curl back, show their numbers to the quarterback, and complete the play.
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. 2nd down, Winston. Left side complete, Safarian Jenkins. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
I know I'm not in the rooting business, but I really like this kid, Austin Safarian Jenkins. Good catch there. I'm just hoping he can stay on the field and have some good health.
Now the Bucs hoping so too, limited to 16 games total his first 2 seasons combined.
He is quite a target for a young quarterback. Jameis Winston can grow with this guy, and boy, they can be a dynamic duo.
And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Coney Ely in on the tackle.
No gain on that run, and while this team is down, they're not out of it by any stretch of the imagination. Maybe you just have to think about different style of running in order to get this guy going.
Now a 2nd down throw for Winston. And complete over the middle, Safarian Jenkins. Call it a gain of 5, and that'll make it 3rd down.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Winston from the gun on 3rd down. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. So on 4th down, here's the Buccaneer place kicker, Roberto Aguayo now. From the left hash, it's a 42-yard attempt. And Aguayo's kick is good. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, but the net gain, 3 points.
And you're going to have drives like that in this league. Sometimes you just got to take the 3 and move on. Always better than nothing.
The Panthers offense now, they head back on the field for their first possession of the second half. They got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. They'll run it now out of the gun. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. Crashing in from the end there, not to disrupt the pass game, but to disrupt the run game.
Yeah, I love the distinction, too, because the good defensive ends, they can do it all. Set the edge in the run game, make sure that no one can move it that way, and, of course, rush the passer. On that play, use the speed to get there in the run game.
It'll be a pickup of just 2, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Here's Donnie Jones now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. That's pulled in at the 32. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Winston with a give to Martin. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. So oftentimes you see defensive holding. Here it's offensive holding for the flag. That'll go as a loss of 9, and it leads to 3rd down. And they're behind the sticks here a bit now, dealing with a 2nd and 12. Now Jameis on 2nd down. Connects it to Roberts, right side. And he takes this one all the way across midfield into enemy territory down to the 40-yard line. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Back now in Tampa. It's Buccaneer football, but they've got work to do. They find themselves behind here to start the 4th quarter. And the offense lining up 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done.
Are we really in the second half here? And this is the first time we've seen Jameis Winston connect with Mike Evans.
Yeah, you know that they missed that in the first half. Up until this point, they really missed it, haven't they?
I think that's a big reason why they're down on the scoreboard right now.
He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And now loose football. Fumble. Martin lost it. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big time.
Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Chris Conte. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they thought they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. Now they'll run it on the toss. And this play goes nowhere, losing yardage back to the 15. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
One thing I know, defensive coaches love it when they don't have to invite their players to the party. This strong safety, you never have to ask him twice to help in run support. He's going to arrive and in a bad mood.
Oh, and the hard count might have got him. This might be a 1st down. First down and 10 now for the offensive group. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. They run with Richardson. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. It's the Pro Bowler Luke Kuechly that picks it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Carolina getting set to take the field. And last time wasn't pretty. 1 play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. And in this situation with a lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line. Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end and let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
Smiles, everyone, smiles, because when Cam Newton and Greg Olsen hook up like they've been doing throughout this game, that's one big reason why they're winning.
What makes Greg Olsen so tough to cover?
I think he really is a wide receiver in the tight end's body. He runs his routes with such great precision and some physical toughness, and he really fights and competes for the ball.
And then, of course, it helps to have Cam Newton throwing it to you. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
On 2nd down, here's Newton. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Well, pretty good coverage there in both of these defenses. They've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it. And in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
3rd and long. It's Newton. He gets it to Brown. Complete. And he's brought down after a good gain. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
And they're definitely showing blitz here. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. And now the Bucs deciding to take a timeout defensively. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Out of the huddle now for play number 9 on this drive. This is 3rd down and 8. Now it's Newton. Rolling to his left. And he finds a man. It's Olsen. And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. Greg Olsen, 29 yards. And the Panthers add on to their lead. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told him, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me. 2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs, and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
Jameis to throw it. Drops it off to Martin. Call it a 3-yard gain, and it'll make it a 2nd down. And right now, defensively, you love that, don't you? I mean, you'll give them that play.
And they'll take it every single time. This is almost like nickeling and diming it downfield, and too much time's going to run off the clock.
Now a 2nd down throw for Winston. He's going to let it fly. It's caught inside the 25. A gain of 32 that time.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that and have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory. When teams take shots at the end zone, you've got to defend it the same way you would defend the first down sticks. You defend the goal line exactly the same way. They can't cross that. You play through the receivers. And on that play, that's exactly what they did and batted it away.
And this is caught at the 8. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets them up 1st and goal. And now they're in the hurry-up. And a nice little pass and catch there on the corner route.
Set up very well by the receiver with a head and shoulder fake inside before he comes back downhill to his quarterback.
It's a gain of 7, and that'll make it 2nd and goal. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys on plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not.
And he takes this one into the end zone, and all of a sudden, here in the final minute, things get a little bit tighter.
And there's the touchdown that they needed, so they'll celebrate. But the guys on the sidelines, they've got to stay focused. The onside kick team, they need them to get the ball back.
Yeah, part one of the equation done. Now they need to convert and get that onside kick. So still a small chance here with a little over 30 seconds to go, but they're definitely going to need this one to bounce their way. And the Panthers are going to recover here, and that should be enough to get them the victory. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
And some extras coming up on the line here, readying for the blitz. Oh, nice move. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. They'll give it to him right up the gut. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down. Off the corner, where'd he come from? Well, I guess he came off the corner, but really nice play.
I like when you're able to pose a question and answer it at the same time. That's exactly where he came from, but it's not something that you normally see. Most of the time, we're thinking about those guys covering pass catchers. In this case, he was a big factor in the run game. No gain.
And partner, this first week, this first game that we get to call together, so special every year, week one. You had the flyover, the big American flag out there before the game, all the hoopla, just having football back, so special.
It is an opening day, opening game. There's just nothing like it because you really build to a crescendo. But the best part for us is that crescendo lasts for a while. Opening game here, an entire season. We get into the playoffs, to the Super Bowl. I was really excited. I could barely sleep last night. I can't imagine being a player.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say so long from Tampa.